Today is July 29th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today on the Big Book, we're going to continue our journey through Chapter 2, There's a Solution, by reading page 19. And now the 12 and 12, we're on Step 4, reading page 47. And of course, we'll read the Daily Reflections and 24 Hours a Day for July 29th. So with that, hope you all are doing well this morning, my friends. Hard to believe that this month is just about over. We got a couple more days left. But just another one going by. Days are getting a little shorter. But it's just wonderful to see, that there's change every year, every season. And that's just like our lives, But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, so yesterday's reading, we were talking about how, an alcoholic can uniquely help another alcoholic and not act holier than thou while he's doing it. Page 19, we're going to build on that idea. None of us makes a sole vocation of this work, nor do we think its effectiveness would be increased if we did. We feel that elimination of our drinking is but a beginning. A much more important demonstration of our principles lies before us in our respective homes, occupations, and affairs. All of us spend much of our spare time in the sort of effort which we are going to describe. A few are fortunate enough to be so situated that they can give nearly all of their time to the work. If we keep on the way we are going, there's little doubt that much good will result. But the surface of the problem would hardly be scratched. Those of us who live in large cities are overcome by the reflection that close by, hundreds are dropping into oblivion every day. Many could recover if they had the opportunity that we have enjoyed. How then shall we present that which has been so freely given us? We have concluded to publish an anonymous volume setting forth the problem as we see it. We shall bring to the task our combined experience and knowledge. This should suggest a useful program for anyone concerned with the drinking problem. Of necessity, there will have to be discussion of matters medical, psychiatric, social, and religious. We are aware that these matters are, from their very nature, controversial. Nothing will please us so much as to write a book which would contain no basis for contention or argument. We shall do our utmost to achieve that ideal. Most of us sense that real tolerance of other people's shortcomings and viewpoints, and a respect for their opinions are attitudes which make us more useful to others. Our very lives as ex-problem drinkers depend upon our constant thought of others and how we may help meet their needs. All right, we're in step 4 of the 12 and 12, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves, and we are on page 47 today. We thought conditions drove us to drink, and when we tried to correct these conditions and found that we couldn't to our entire satisfaction, our drinking went out of hand and we became alcoholics. It never occurred to us that we needed to change ourselves to meet conditions, whatever they were. But in AA, we slowly learned that something had to be done about our vengeful resentments, self-pity, and unwarranted pride. We had to see that every time we played the big shot, we turned people against us. We had to see that when we harbored grudges or planned revenge for such defeats, we were really beating ourselves with the club of anger that we intended to use on others. We learned that if we were seriously disturbed, our first need was to quiet that disturbance, regardless of who or what we thought caused it. To see how erratic emotions victimized us often took a long time. We could perceive them quickly in others, but only slowly in ourselves. First of all, we had to admit that we had many of these defects, even though such disclosures were painful and humiliating. Where other people were concerned, we had to drop the word blame from our speech and thought. This required great willingness even to begin. But once over the first 2 or 3 high hurdles, the course ahead began to look easier. For we started to get perspective on ourselves, which is another way of saying that we were gaining in humility. Daily Reflections, July 29th. Anonymous Gifts of Kindness. As active alcoholics, we were always looking for a handout in one way or another. The 12 Steps Illustrated, page 14. The challenge of the seventh tradition is a personal challenge, reminding me to share and give of myself. Before sobriety, the only thing I had ever supported was my habit of drinking. Now my efforts are a smile, a kind word, and kindness. I saw that I had to start carrying my own weight and to allow my new friends to walk with me because, through the practice of the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, I've never had it so good. 24 hours a day, July 29th. AA Thought for the Day. There are 2 days in every week about which we should not worry. 2 days which should be kept from fear and apprehension. One of these days is yesterday, with its mistakes and cares, its faults and blunders, its aches and pains. Yesterday has passed forever beyond our control. All the money in the world cannot bring back yesterday. We cannot undo a single act that we performed. We cannot erase a single word we said. Yesterday is gone beyond recall. Do I still worry about what happened yesterday? Meditation for the day. God will not suffer you to be tempted above what you are able, but with the temptation He will also find a way of escape, that you may be able to bear it. If you have enough faith and trust in God, He will give you all the strength that you need to face every temptation and to overcome it. Nothing will prove too hard for you to bear. You can face any situation. Be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. You can overcome any temptation with God's help. So fear nothing. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may face every situation without fear. I pray that nothing will prove too hard for me to bear. All right, so that concludes today's reading. Talking about fear. A lot of my decisions and resentments and anger and all this stuff, a lot of it is rooted in fear, in my drinking days and even in my sober days. And thankfully, the steps help me to dig down to the root of it all, why I feel the way I do. And most of the time, it's fear-driven. And then I realize, I'm not supposed to be fearful. I'm not the boss, my higher power is. And then I start thinking about the Serenity Prayer. And that really does eliminate a lot of fear for me when I start praying that and really thinking about it. What does that actually mean for me today? Speaking of things I cannot change, I can't change yesterday. But what can I do today? And finally, I love the line from the Daily Reflections today. Through the practice of the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, I've never had it so good. I've gained a program for living in the 12 steps that have enriched my relationship with my higher power in me. And it's practical. Any issue that I face today, the steps can help me to deal with it in a healthy way. But I've also got a family. I've also got support. I can hit a meeting locally. If I'm having a hard day and I need extra support, I can hit a meeting locally and I can be of use to others. Or I can hop on the internet, the wonderful miracle of the internet. And I can hop on a Zoom meeting and talk to somebody out there. Or listen to somebody out there that's hurting. I have gained a family, and I really have gained a family that I know if anything were to hit the fan, they're there. Because I've seen them do that for others. It is amazing. Like I never felt like I belonged anywhere until I found a home in the fellowships. But again, I've never had it so good. So with that, guys, if we were given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.